Welcome everybody. I'm going to tell you about this new interpretive station here. And this is something the education department put together. We started it last summer with the interns who were here last summer, and it has taken a while to get it completed and out here. But we call them conversation cards. There is one piece missing, and that is a printed sticker that goes right here at the top that should be here by this Friday, and it will say basically conversation cards. Take a set into the galleries to enjoy as you enjoy the galleries with your group or something like that. So the cards are hanging here. The ones at the top are English. The ones at the bottom are in Spanish language. And you'll notice the orange one says, "I'm here with kids," and the turquoise one says, "I'm here with other adults." But it's actually the same card. It's just flipped. So it's the same exact card. So if you're a family with kids, you would be interested in the orange cards, and you would ignore the turquoise cards. Or if you're an adult here with your sister or your friends, you would use the turquoise side. So to give you a sense of types of questions. So the idea is for people maybe who are not used to coming to art museums, or let's say you're a parent with your kids and you don't know how to talk to your kids about art, this will get you started. And this is in lieu of, some of you remember we used to have kid kits or little backpacks, little zip bags with activities for kids, and those started to get old, and pieces walk off, and it was high maintenance, frankly, because every time they'd come back, you had to inventory and replace things that were missing or reorganize them. This is much more efficient in terms of people just returning them and they're ready for the next person. So the type of questions, I'm here with kids. The warm-up is you start with just a simple question. What do you see in this painting? And the kids will go, I see a bunch of, I think they're bison. I see I see a big bison. I see some calves. I see how many bison?
They'll say buffalo.
Buffalo. And then there's another part of the conversation. And then the second question is, why do you say that? Somebody might say, it's a long time ago. It's how things used to look a long time ago. It's how it looked in Yellowstone last week. And so, why do you say that? Well, I see there's a whole bunch of them, and I see the mountains in the background. It reminds me of where we were, but, maybe we didn't see that many. And then you get into a conversation of, this was a long time ago, when there were way more than there are now. And then then number 3 is things like repeat or ask other questions. So this would encourage curiosity, personal discovery. So you might say things, remember there's no wrong answers. So just reminding a parent that there's no wrong answers could be helpful to them and remove some of the intimidation. Like you said, let's talk about buffalo bison. And, I don't know the answer to that. Let's ask somebody, what's the difference between bison and buffalo?
Well, actually, I do have a question about that. Are we supposed to just not supposed to use one or the other?
I use both, and if somebody asks me what's the difference,
I usually use bison.
I'll say scientists will tell you bison is the correct term, but around here you will hear people saying buffalo. Native Americans will often say buffalo. It's the same.
You say buffalo.
Yeah.
So its scientific name for bison is bison. So that's the genus, and the species is bison.
Oh,
so that's another little piece you can put in there.
Oh, okay.
So,
I didn't know that.
Yeah. And they're not, as we all know, they're not truly buffalo.
Right.
Buffalo is like the water buffalo in Africa. It's a different animal.
Yeah.
it's not water, it's Cape Buffalo.
Cape buffalo. Thank you. Thank you. Cape buffalo. No, you're great. You're great. So another type of question here is find a work of art that you like. What's the title? If you could give this work a new title, what would you name it and why? You can see how this gets kids thinking and thinking about how hard it is for an artist to title their work. Not everybody's good at titles. Here's one I like. Find an artwork with an animal you would like to see one day. Like maybe somebody finds a giraffe. I'd love to see a giraffe one day. Oh, well, what's interesting to you about that animal? Where do you think you could find an animal like that? They might say the zoo. And we could say, oh, let's make a trip to the zoo. Or they might say Africa. And you could say, someday, wouldn't it be great if you could go see a giraffe in Africa? Other types of questions. This one has to do with camouflage. It says find an animal that is camouflaged or blends in with its environment. And so it could become kind of a treasure hunt. They look around till they find that, and then you have a discussion about what helps this animal blend in. Is it the color? Is it the texture? Is it something else? Why would this animal want to disguise itself? So you can see how this can lead to some good conversations. Again, it could be done with any work of art, any exhibit, and hopefully people will enjoy it. But another piece that we will be working on is
What are the
assessment.
adult questions?
Yeah, the adult questions. Okay, I'm here with adults.
Jana, you were just about to say something about assessments.
Oh,
So-
assessments.
So that,
Okay, I'll finish
wondering-
that sentence.
Yeah.
So we do plan to assess this activity
Okay.
and what that will look like. One, I mean, we know people are using them because every time I come out here, I'm rearranging them and putting them back in the logic that makes sense to me. But we want to do a more formal assessment to know, okay, on a given day, how many people are taking these cards? Are adults more likely to use them or families with kids more likely to use them? How long do they typically use it before they head off on their own and decide they're done with it? These are things we would like to know, and we have not done yet. But like I said, we're going to wait until this sticker is up here, and then we will devise the assessment and start assessing it.
That's fabulous, thanks, that was,
Sure,
it's like,
sure.
I needed that piece.
So here's some sample questions for adults. The warm-up is similar to the warm-up with kids. Describe it, analyze it, interpret it, and reflect on it, and there's some prompts that help you to do that. This one is more philosophical. Ponder some ideas with your group, such as, why do people make art about animals? This is a question we asked on an assessment, and most people thought it had to do with conservation. They thought, well, people make art about animals because they want to help preserve these animals. But it's, that's an open-ended question. There are lots of reasons people might want to make art about animals. Do you think we make art about animals for different reasons than our ancestors did? And you might think about, in JKM Gallery, some of those, still life images with the dead fish or with the dead birds, and they were trying to communicate the abundance of North America. They thought these animals would never become extinct. It was an unlimited supply. So that's a little different than the mindset today. Then you could talk about that. This says, have your group look at a work of art for 1 full minute without talking about it at all. And then you come back together. You would probably want to look at the same work of art for 1 full minute without talking, and then come back and say, what did you notice? Was there anything surprising? Did any questions come up for you? Does something strike you as special or meaningful? Imagine doing this, like, for example, with the Charlie Russell piece in JKM, To the Victor Belongs the Spoils. Some people may notice the wolves. Some other people in your group, really? There were wolves in there? How many wolves did you notice? Do you have questions about it? Who killed the deer? This can help you with those questions, help you come up with things to talk about. This one's more about noticing brush strokes, noticing composition. How is your eye led around this piece? Why do you think the artist made these decisions? This one is, imagine you are a museum curator. And then it has a little bit of information about what curators do. And it says, if you were reorganizing this gallery, what changes would you make and why? So hopefully people are finding this helpful as they get started. Sometimes right when you walk in, especially if you're not a museum goer, you'd be like, where do I start? What do I do? And this is hopefully breaking the ice and making people realize, 1, there are no wrong answers. 2, this can be fun. And 3, it can be fun to do with other people. It can be an interactive experience, right? Not just by yourself.
That's really cool.
Thank you,
So
too.
that's what these are here for. After Friday, you'll see the nice sign at the top. And the reason it is so low, you might be wondering that, is because we wanted people, like little kids, to be able to pick it up, but also people in wheelchairs to be able to pick it up. So hopefully it's not too low. That was our goal, was to make it accessible to all.
So these are these amazing boxes that we found, and we had them printed. And this is going to travel with this exhibit. So we've got them all boxed up, and then it'll be a little thing for people in other museums to play with as well. So I don't know if you've ever played Apples to Apples, but this is kind of like that.
Too long, you guys.
Okay, so we have reaction cards. We've called this Unnatural Reactions. We have these reaction cards, and the idea is you shuffle them, mix them up a little bit. They're tarot card size, so they're kind of hard to shuffle, but you shuffle them up, and then everybody gets
I'll say
7.
that here. What are we doing?
You want to play, Nancy? Come to them
We're
here.
gonna sit next to Roger.
We're just getting started. So everybody gets 7 cards. Yeah, there's English and Spanish, which is another cool part of this game.
So were these in the shop?
No, and we're considering creating a new one for the for some of our permanent collection stuff. To make a game like this that people could purchase and then take home at the very least. Okay, so you can look at your cards, and then we choose a player to be the first curator. I'll be the curator. So the curator takes the top card, the artwork pile, and it's Karis, right? Kaleidoscope Owl, which happens to be directly in front of us, which is really convenient.
And you
Okay.
sell it in the bookstore.
We do.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have prints
My
of it in the
grandson's
bookstore.
favorite.
Okay, so everyone else, you look at the reaction card, or at the artwork card, and then you can look at your hand and you can choose the reaction from your hand that you think fits best with that artwork and place it face down in front of you on the table, or in front of me. Place it face down in front of me on the table,
What does that say?
and it can be funny.
Some of them are
The goat of a fallen past.
Oh, it's in
So some of them have, write your own. So
Oh, I'll get that.
someone has written their own. And some of them are inappropriate, so we have to come in here and look for them. So if we see ones that we like, we're gonna add them and print them.
Write
for
your
the
own,
game
oh, I
control.
see,
So
write
that's a
your
write
own
your own
reaction.
Right.
So somebody actually, but they didn't do it in Spanish, so.
Oh, well, of course. So, so you're supposed to choose the artwork from your hand that you think fits best with this artwork and place it face down on the table. And it could be, maybe it goes really well, or maybe it doesn't go really well. Maybe it's funny or whatever.
There's
Can
somebody's
we
card.
trade for
That's
that?
mine.
Oh, you already put
You
yours
have
down.
7 cards,
Oh.
right?
Do we stack them?
So yeah, put them in front of me. Is this your reaction?
You can write your own reaction.
Uh-huh. Okay. And then I, as the
then you
curator,
pick the
get
best
to
one.
read, and I get to pick who I think has the best reaction. So we have, how was your weekend? I think it wants us to follow it. How the dinosaurs died. And please stop staring into my soul.
Yeah.
I love that.
That's
Yeah.
So I think it wants us to follow it.
I like
That's
that.
my favorite. So anyway, in Apples to Apples, that would be the winner. So if that's yours, we can say that you're the winner. We didn't put that
I
in
think
here.
I came in second. She was fine.
That's right. So anyway, the whole idea of this is just to get people to to kind of interpret the paintings in a different way, or to get people talking or thinking about them in a different way, because contemporary art can be hard for people sometimes to understand.
Yeah.
And so this is just a way of engaging with it without being like, I understand this piece, or
Yeah.
it's not always important to know what the artist's intention was. So this is, the print's really small in here. This is January
This is so funny.
Constant Cycles Strung
It's over
Together,
here.
2014. Watercolor and graphite on paper.
It's behind you.
It is
Oh, it's so
I
tiny.
gotta see it, I didn't see that yet. I gotta look up.
But this also, this turns into a little bit of like I didn't see this piece, where is this piece? So that would kind of encourage people to look around some more to look for this piece, So that's okay that it's written small, because they can just go find it.
I got the
This
best
is
one.
tough. Okay.
Did you say this piece is around it?
It's right here.
It's behind
Oh,
us.
it's right there. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Oh, right.
On the orange wall.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's hard to see when you're
You
lying
know, that
position.
raven looks a lot like the new stamp they have.
Oh, I know,
right.
I bought them, they're coming in the
too.
mail, they're beautiful.
They have that.
Is this one
they
yours,
have
Pat?
them at the
They
post
have them at
office.
the post, oh, I had to pay
At the
ship
post office.
from the post office to the post office.
Well, they hardly ever have them, but they have them now, it's because it's a stamp out.
Okay, we have first day at a new job.
Oh, that's good.
Well, I'm totally confused. Visiting the in-laws. You are getting very, very sleepy. Just a regular old Saturday night. That one was mine.
That's so funny.
I like first day at a new job. That's
That's
good.
great.
That's
Oh, that's
fine.
so funny.
That was
Oh,
mine.
well, I'm glad it's not on the other side.
Should we do that?
That's fun, I love
That's
it.
so